In the last 4 out of 5 years, the Houston Rockets' hope of making it to the finals has been cut short by none other than the Golden State Warriors. The Rockets' run of getting owned by the Warriors started in the 2014-2015 season. At this time, Kevin McHale was still coaching. James Harden was entering his 3rd season in Houston, where the Rockets' starting lineup consisted of Trevor Ariza, Patrick Beverley, Harden of course, Terrence Jones, and Dwight Howard to start the season. That lineup was later changed around throughout the season as guys such as Jason Terry and Joey Dorsey made starts due to injuries. Even Josh Smith was playing a good amount of time too. Harden averaged 27 points and 7 assists as he led the Rockets to a 56-26 record and second place in the Western Conference. After taking care of the Mavericks in the first round and causing the Clippers to blow a 3-1 lead in the second round, Houston was ready to take on the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. The series didn't go their way at all, and they were taken care of in 5 games. The following year was a pretty shaky season to say the least. Kevin McHale was fired after the Rockets started off the season going 4-7, and his new replacement was J.B. Bickerstaff. The Rockets regressed a lot in comparison to the previous year, as they finished 41-41 and was in the 8th place in the Western Conference. Now, of all the teams that they could play, who do you think they played? The 73-9 Warriors team with a unanimous MVP. There were games where Houston couldn't even score 90 points in comparison to their 106 points per game average that was 4th in the league that year. That Houston team had no business being on the same court as the Warriors, and it showed. With Dwight Howard, this was his final year with the Rockets as he left the following summer to play for the Hawks. The Rockets also needed a new head coach since Bickerstaff was just an intern, so along came Mike D'Antoni. Before he became head coach of the Houston Rockets, Mike D'Antoni was the associate head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, who were 1-26 before he joined the staff. In the Rockets' first season under D'Antoni, they were able to turn around the team quickly by finishing 55-27 and 3rd in the Western Conference. Their offensive rating was 2nd in the league, while they averaged 115 points per game, which was also the 2nd best in the league. Houston didn't end up playing the Warriors that season, as they were eliminated in the semifinals by the San Antonio Spurs in 6 games. In the summer before the 2017-2018 season, Houston was looking to improve in any way possible, so they sent Sam Decker, Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, DeAndre Liggins, Darren Hilliard, Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Whitler, a 2018 first-round pick, and $661,000 to the Los Angeles Clippers, all in exchange for Chris Paul. This automatically made Houston have one of the best backcourts in the NBA with 2 future Hall of Famers. Houston would also sign key role players such as PJ Tucker, Gerald Green, and Luke Mbah-a-Moute for depth and shooting. The Rockets came into the season ready to make a deep playoff run. Right at the start of the season, Chris Paul's impact was immediately felt. He took the constant pressure of having to handle the ball every play off of Harden, and he even got guys such as Clint Capella more involved in the offense. Capella's points per game has gone up since Paul's time in Houston. With all the additions that the team made, they finished 65-17 and had the best record in the league. After being the runner-up in MVP voting to Russell Westbrook's first triple-double season in 2017, James Harden was able to get his first MVP award by averaging 30 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. They took care of the Timberwolves and Jazz in 5 games apiece in the first and second rounds. Now on to the team that they've been waiting for, the Warriors. Through the first 3 games, 2 of the games were lost by more than 10 points, and one of them was more than 40 points. Houston was down 1-2 and ended up taking the next 2 games that was up 3-2. Now here's the part that frustrates me so much about this one series. Chris Paul ended up hurting his hamstring in Game 5. That was the last game he would play in the playoffs. Chris Paul would miss the next 2 games. The Warriors won Games 6 and 7, and the Rockets were eliminated yet again. If Chris Paul would have played, I really think Houston would have been in the NBA Finals. Now here we are in the summer before this season. The Rockets lost Mbah Moute and Trevor Ariza, who had a very important role with the team, to free agency. To combat this, Houston went out and signed Austin Rivers, Kenneth Faried, and Carmelo Anthony. There were also other players signed, and I'll come back to Melo in a minute. Clint Capella got almost $100 million after playing a season with Chris Paul while having 0 post moves. Gerald Green also re-signed too. Now here's the contract that pretty much screwed the Rockets. After just 1 season in Houston, Chris Paul was awarded with a 4-year, $160 million deal. What makes this a bad contract is that Chris Paul is going to be getting $44 million at age 36, and that at this point in his career, he's just too injury prone to be getting that kind of money. Now back to Carmelo. After being bought out for $28 million by the Atlanta Hawks, Melo joined the Rockets on a 1-year deal. He was fresh off a season with the Thunder in which he showed that he was clearly past his prime. And after the Rockets started off the season going 4-6, it seemed like everyone blamed Carmelo for their struggles, and he was released. James Harden had to step up even more by averaging 36 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds a game. The Rockets took a step back from their great season the year before, but still ended up finishing in 4th place in the West. Harden once again finished in the top 3 in MVP voting, but he probably won't win it this year because of Giannis. Houston took care of the Jazz in 5 yet again, and in the second round, they met the Warriors. This time, they had a healthy Chris Paul, but yet it ended with the same result. They were up in Game 6. Steph Curry had 0 points at the half, came back second half and scored 33 points, led the Warriors to a win, and won the series. I was so frustrated watching this game, knowing how bad Curry was playing, yet the Rockets still couldn't seal the deal. With free agency right around the corner, I expect this Rocket team to change drastically before next season. It would make a lot of sense to trade Chris Paul, but let's be honest, who's going to take that contract? Clint Capella could be moved too, and Mike D'Antoni has proved that he'll never be a championship-level coach. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, like the video. And if you like me, subscribe.